What if I told you that the email from your bank warning about suspicious activity on your account is actually from a hacker trying to steal your life savings? And what if I told you that by clicking "Secure my account" and entering your login details, you just gave that hacker complete access to drain every penny you've worked years to save? But here's the most chilling part. You checked everything. The email address looked legitimate, the bank's logo was perfect, even the security warnings seemed real. You did exactly what you thought was right to protect yourself, and that's exactly what made you vulnerable. Welcome back to Tech Sky. Today, we're exposing how attackers orchestrate sophisticated phishing campaigns that manipulate your emotions through fear, urgency, and trust to trick you into willingly handing over your most sensitive information. More importantly, you'll learn how to recognize these psychological traps and protect yourself from becoming the next victim. But before we begin, I need to make something absolutely clear. Everything demonstrated in this video is strictly for educational purposes only. The knowledge you're about to gain comes with significant responsibility. Understanding phishing campaign techniques is crucial for cybersecurity professionals, security awareness trainers, and individuals who need to recognize these sophisticated attacks. But using these methods to target actual people is not only unethical, but illegal in most jurisdictions worldwide. All our demonstrations today will be performed using our own testing environments and controlled scenarios. We will not be targeting any real users or attempting to steal actual credentials. Phishing attacks cause billions of dollars in damages annually and can destroy careers, businesses, and lives. The techniques shown today are the same ones used by cybercriminals, nation-state actors, and organized crime groups to compromise organizations and individuals worldwide. Never use these methods against real people or organizations you don't own or have explicit authorization to test. Phishing campaigns represent one of the most effective and persistent threats in cybersecurity today. Unlike single, isolated phishing attempts, campaigns are coordinated, systematic attacks designed to target multiple victims with carefully crafted messages that exploit specific psychological vulnerabilities. What makes modern phishing campaigns particularly dangerous is their sophistication. Attackers no longer rely on poorly written emails with obvious grammar mistakes. Instead, they create meticulously designed communications that mirror legitimate business correspondence in every detail, from logos and formatting to tone and language. The psychology behind successful phishing attacks revolves around three core manipulation tactics. First is urgency, creating a false sense of time pressure that forces victims to act quickly without thinking critically. Messages claim accounts will be suspended, payments are overdue, or security breaches require immediate action. Second is fear, triggering emotional responses that bypass rational decision-making. Victims are told their accounts have been compromised, suspicious activity has been detected, or legal action is pending. This emotional state makes people more likely to comply with requests without proper verification. Third is authority, impersonating trusted figures or organizations to leverage existing power dynamics. Emails appear to come from CEOs, IT departments, government agencies, or well-known companies. Victims naturally trust these sources and are less likely to question their requests. Email spoofing amplifies these tactics by making fraudulent emails appear to originate from legitimate domains. When an email shows it's from your actual company domain or a trusted organization, the psychological barrier to skepticism increases dramatically. Modern phishing campaigns combine these elements with professional web design, creating fake websites that perfectly replicate legitimate login pages. When victims enter their credentials on these cloned sites, attackers capture everything in real time while seamlessly redirecting victims to the real site to avoid suspicion. The automation of these campaigns means attackers can target thousands of potential victims simultaneously, tracking who opens emails, clicks links, and submits credentials. This data helps refine future attacks and identify the most susceptible targets. Understanding how these campaigns operate is essential for both defending against them and recognizing when you're being targeted. The techniques we'll demonstrate today represent the current state of phishing attack methodology used by sophisticated threat actors worldwide. Now that we understand the psychological tactics behind phishing campaigns, let's dive into the practical demonstration of how these sophisticated attacks are actually constructed and deployed. Our first step is preparing the technical infrastructure that will power our phishing campaign. Open your terminal and begin by running sudo apt update to refresh our package repositories. Once that completes, run sudo apt upgrade and type Y when prompted to install any available system updates. This ensures we have the latest versions of all components we'll be working with today. The next crucial step is setting up our email spoofing environment. For this, we need to install Postfix, which is a mail transfer agent that allows us to send emails from our system. Postfix essentially acts as our own private email server, giving us complete control over how emails appear to recipients, including the ability to spoof sender addresses. Run sudo apt install Postfix to begin the installation. You'll immediately see a mail server configuration screen providing information about different configuration types. Press Enter to proceed with the configuration process. Now you'll be presented with different mail server types. We need to select Internet Site because we want our server to send and receive emails directly over the Internet. Select Internet Site and press Enter. The next prompt asks for your mail name. This is critically important for our phishing scenario. You'll want to choose a domain name that matches the organization you're impersonating in your campaign. For our demonstration of a bank phishing attack, I'll enter securebank.com as the mail name. This makes our spoofed emails appear to come from the legitimate bank's domain. Choose your domain according to your specific phishing scenario. Postfix will now install and configure itself according to these settings. Once the installation completes, we need to start the Postfix service. Run sudo systemctl start Postfix to activate it. To verify that Postfix is running correctly, type sudo systemctl status Postfix. You should see output indicating that the service is active and running without errors. This confirms our email infrastructure is ready to send spoofed emails. With our email infrastructure in place, it's time to launch Gophish, the framework that will orchestrate our entire phishing campaign. Navigate to your applications menu and search for Gophish. You should see it appear in the search results. Click it to launch the application. A terminal window will open first, displaying Gophish's default login credentials and the URL where you can access its web interface. Don't close this terminal. Within moments, your default web browser should automatically open to the Gophish login page. If the browser doesn't open automatically, you can manually navigate to the URL shown in the terminal window. You'll see a login screen requesting username and password. Copy the credentials that appeared in the Gophish terminal when it first launched and paste them into the login fields. After your first successful login, Gophish will immediately prompt you to set a new password for security purposes. Choose a strong password that you'll remember for future sessions. Once you've set your new password, you'll arrive at the Gophish dashboard. This is mission control for our phishing campaign. From this interface, we'll design our fake web pages, craft convincing emails, configure our sending infrastructure, and ultimately launch coordinated attacks against our targets. The first component we need to build is our landing page, the fake website where victims will enter their credentials. Click on the Landing Pages tab in the side menu. You'll notice that currently, no landing pages exist yet. Click the New Page button to create our first landing page. We need to give it a descriptive name. I'll call it Secure Bank Online Portal to match our banking scenario. Below the name field, we have two options for creating our landing page. We can either write HTML code directly, or we can import an existing website by providing its URL. Let me demonstrate both approaches so you understand the full range of options available. First, let's look at the HTML approach. Open a new browser tab and navigate to github.com/techsky-eh/securebank. You'll see a repository containing our test website files. Click on the index.html file to view its source code, then copy all of the code. Return to the Gophish tab and paste this code into the HTML editor. Notice that the source button is currently active, showing the raw HTML. If you click this button again, you'll see the rendered preview of how the landing page will actually appear to victims. You can certainly edit this code directly to customize the appearance, but there's a better method we'll use instead. The superior approach is importing a live website, which automatically captures all styling, images, and functionality. This method has a crucial advantage. Open a new tab and navigate to techsky-eh.github.io/securebank. This displays our SecureBank login page in its full glory. Notice how professionally designed it appears, complete with urgent security warnings about unusual account activity detected. This exemplifies the fear tactic we discussed earlier, creating panic that bypasses rational thinking. The page instructs users to enter their credentials immediately to verify their identity. This combines urgency with authority, exploiting the natural human tendency to comply when we believe our accounts are at risk. Copy the complete URL of this web page, then return to the Gophish tab. Click the Import Site button, paste the URL into the field, and click Import. Watch as Gophish automatically clones the entire website, preserving every visual element perfectly. Now we need to configure two critical settings. First, check the Capture Submitted Data checkbox. This ensures that any information victims enter into our fake page gets recorded. Next, check the Capture Passwords checkbox to specifically capture password fields. Here comes the most important feature that makes website cloning superior to manual HTML code: the redirect URL field. After victims submit their credentials on our fake page, we can automatically redirect them to the legitimate website. This social engineering technique is devastatingly effective because victims assume there was simply a temporary technical glitch with the site, never realizing they just gave their credentials to an attacker. Paste the original SecureBank website URL into the redirect URL field. This creates the seamless deception. Victims enter their credentials on our fake page, get instantly redirected to the real site, and assume they just experienced a minor technical hiccup. Click Save Page to preserve our landing page configuration. With our landing page ready, we need to create the email that will lure victims to visit it. Click on the Email Templates tab, and then click New Template to begin crafting our phishing email. For the template name, I'll enter something descriptive like SecureBank Security Alert, Suspicious Activity. This helps us organize multiple campaigns and templates. The Envelope Sender field is where we configure who the email appears to come from. This is crucial for establishing authority and trust. I'll enter SecureBank Security as the display name, followed by the email address security@securebank.com. This combination makes the email appear to originate from the bank's legitimate security department. Next is the subject line, which must immediately grab attention and create urgency. Attackers carefully craft subjects that trigger emotional responses. I'll write, "Suspicious activity detected on your account." This combines fear of compromise with the implicit urgency to act immediately. Now we need to create the email body itself. We have the option to design both plain text and HTML code versions. Having both ensures compatibility across different email clients, with the HTML version providing the professional appearance that builds credibility. Navigate back to the SecureBank GitHub repository tab and open the email.txt file. This contains our plain text template designed to create maximum fear and urgency. Copy this text and return to Gophish, pasting it into the text tab. The plain text version is important for email clients that don't support HTML, but the HTML version is where we really create the professional appearance that sells the deception. Return to GitHub and open the email.html file. Copy this entire code and paste it into the HTML tab in Gophish. Click the Source button to see the rendered preview of your HTML email. Notice how professional it appears: official branding, proper formatting, and those critical red warning messages that trigger fear responses. The email includes time pressure, You have 24 hours to verify, which creates urgency and official language that establishes authority. This combination of fear, urgency, and authority represents the psychological manipulation at the core of successful phishing campaigns. Our landing page and email template are ready, but we need to configure how these emails will actually be sent. Click on the Sending Profiles tab, and then New Profile, to create our sending configuration. Name this profile something descriptive like Secure Bank Security Alerts, to match our campaign theme. The interface defaults to SMTP, which is perfect since we configured Postfix earlier. SMTP stands for Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. It's the standard method for sending emails across the internet. Our Postfix installation provides the SMTP server that Gophish will use to actually transmit our phishing emails. In the SMTP From field, enter the same sender information we used in our email template. Consistency between our sending profile and email template is crucial for maintaining the illusion. For the host configuration, we'll use our local Postfix server. Enter 127.0.0.1:25. This tells Gophish to connect to the SMTP server running on our local machine on port 25, which is the standard SMTP port. The username and password fields can remain empty because our local Postfix installation doesn't require authentication for sending emails from localhost. Before saving this profile, let's verify our entire email infrastructure is working correctly. Click Send Test Email to access the testing interface. Enter test recipient information. I'll use test as the first name and user as the last name. For the email address, we'll use a temporary email service to avoid sending test messages to real addresses. Open a new browser tab and search for temp mail. You'll find several temporary email services. Choose any of them. I'll use the first result. The service will automatically generate a disposable email address. Copy this address and return to Gophish, pasting it into the email field. For the position field, enter something like tester to complete the recipient profile. Now click Send Test Email. Gophish should display a success message indicating the email was sent. Switch to your Temp Mail tab and refresh if necessary. You should see the test email arrive in the inbox. This confirms our entire email sending infrastructure is functioning correctly. Return to Gophish and click Save Profile to preserve this sending configuration. Every phishing campaign needs targets, the individuals who will receive our malicious emails. Click on the Users and Groups tab, then New Group, to create our target list. Name your group descriptively. I'll use Secure Bank Customers, Test Group, to clearly indicate this is our test victim pool. Now we need to add information about our targets. In real-world scenarios, attackers spend considerable time conducting open-source intelligence reconnaissance to gather accurate information about their targets. They compile detailed lists including names, positions, email addresses, and other personal details that make their attacks more convincing and targeted. You have the option to import a CSV file containing bulk target information, which is how sophisticated campaigns typically operate. However, for our demonstration, we'll manually add targets to understand the process. Enter the first name of your target in the appropriate field, then the last name. For the email address, let's generate a fresh temporary email. Open your temp mail service and delete the previous email. It will automatically generate a new address. Copy this new address and paste it into Gophish. The position field helps attackers personalize their messages. I'll enter Premium Customer to indicate this target is a high-value account holder. Click Add to include this target in our group. The entry appears in the targets list below. Let's add a second target to simulate a multi-victim campaign. Repeat the process with different details. Here's an important tip. Open the temp mail service in a different browser profile or incognito window, so both temporary email addresses remain active simultaneously. This lets us see how the campaign affects multiple targets. After entering the second target's information, click Add again. You should now see both targets listed in your group. Once you've added all desired targets, click Save Changes to preserve this group configuration. Everything is now in place: our fake website, convincing email, sending infrastructure, and target list. It's time to launch our phishing campaign and see these elements work together. Click on the Campaigns tab and then New Campaign to create our attack. Give your campaign a descriptive name that includes timing information. I'll use Secure Bank Phishing Campaign, October 2025. This helps track and organize multiple campaigns over time. The form now displays drop-down menus for all the components we've created. Select your email template from the first drop-down. You should see Secure Bank Security Alert, Suspicious Activity, Available. Next, select your landing page. Secure Bank Online Portal should appear in the list. The URL field is critically important. This is where our fake login page will be hosted. Victims will be directed to this address when they click the link in our phishing email. Type http:// followed by your attacker machine's IP address. We need to determine this IP address. Open a terminal and type ifconfig. Look for your network interface, usually ETH0 or WLAN0, and locate your IP address. Copy this address and return to Gophish, pasting it after http:// in the URL field. Below the URL, you'll see launch date and time settings. The send emails by date is optional and sets a deadline for email delivery. For our immediate demonstration, we'll leave these at their default values to launch right away. Select your sending profile from the drop-down menu. Secure Bank Security Alerts should be available. Finally, add your target group in the Groups field. Select Secure Bank Customers, Test Group from the drop-down. Everything is configured. Take a moment to review all settings, then click Launch Campaign and confirm you want to launch immediately. The campaign dashboard now displays your active campaign with initial statistics. 2 emails sent, 0 opened, 0 clicked, 0 submitted data, 0 reported. These metrics will update in real time as victims interact with our attack. Let's switch to our temporary email accounts to see the attack from the victim's perspective. Open the first temp mail account. You should see the phishing email waiting in the inbox. Now check the second temp mail account in your other browser profile. The email has arrived there as well, demonstrating that our campaign successfully delivered to multiple targets simultaneously. Open the email in the second account to examine it closely. Notice how legitimate it appears. The sender shows as Secure Bank Security, with an official-looking email address. This demonstrates how email spoofing establishes false authority. The email content features prominent red warning messages about suspicious account activity. This is the fear tactic in action, designed to trigger panic and override rational thinking. Scroll down to see the time pressure element. You have 24 hours to verify your account. This urgency tactic pushes victims to act quickly without carefully evaluating the situation. These 3 elements, authority through spoofing, fear through security warnings, and urgency through time limits, represent the psychological manipulation foundation of successful phishing. Click the Verify My Account Now button. Watch carefully as it navigates to a login page. Let's simulate a victim falling for the attack. Enter credentials in the form. I'll use TechSky as the username and subscribe as the password. Before clicking the Submit button, notice the suspicious URL. But a panicked victim focused on the urgent security warning wouldn't think to check this. Click Verify and Sign In, and watch what happens. The page seamlessly redirects to the original Secure Bank website. Notice the URL now shows the legitimate domain. To most victims, this appears to be a minor technical glitch. They were briefly on a loading page, our fake site, and then reached the real login portal. They have no idea they just gave their credentials to an attacker. Return to the Gophish campaign dashboard and refresh the page. Watch how the statistics have updated to reflect our victims' actions. 1 email opened, 1 link clicked, 1 data submitted. Scroll down to see the detailed results section listing both targets. The first victim shows no activity because we didn't open that email. The second victim shows complete tracking data when they opened the email, clicked the link, and submitted their credentials. Click to view details to expand the second victim's entry. Here's the devastating result of our attack. The captured credentials are displayed in plain text. You can see TechSky as the username and subscribe as the password, exactly what was entered on our fake page. This demonstrates the complete attack chain in action. From the initial spoofed email through the convincing fake website, to the seamless redirect and final credential capture, every element worked together to create a successful phishing attack. Gophish provides additional features for managing these results. You can export the data to CSV files for further analysis, generate comprehensive reports for security awareness training, or use the metrics to refine future campaigns. This level of sophistication and automation is exactly what makes modern phishing campaigns so effective and dangerous. Attackers can target thousands of victims simultaneously, track every interaction, and harvest credentials with minimal effort. After witnessing how easily sophisticated phishing campaigns can be created and deployed, understanding protection strategies becomes critical for both individuals and organizations. The most fundamental defense is developing a healthy skepticism toward unexpected requests, especially those creating urgency or requesting sensitive information. Always verify requests through independent channels. If an email claims to be from your bank, call them directly using the number on your card, not contact information provided in the email. Carefully examine email addresses, not just display names. Attackers often use display names that show legitimate sources, while the actual email address reveals the deception. Hover over sender information to see the real email address before trusting any message. Look for suspicious URLs before clicking links. Hover over links to preview the destination URL in your browser's status bar. Be wary of shortened URLs that hide the true destination. When in doubt, navigate to websites manually by typing the address rather than clicking email links. Enable multi-factor authentication on all important accounts. Even if attackers steal your password through phishing, they still need the second authentication factor to access your accounts. This single measure prevents the vast majority of credential-based attacks. Organizations should implement comprehensive email security solutions, including SPF, DKIM, and DMARC protocols that help verify email authenticity and reduce spoofing effectiveness. These technical controls create barriers that make email spoofing more difficult. Regular security awareness training helps employees recognize phishing attempts. Simulated phishing campaigns can test and improve organizational resilience while identifying areas needing additional education. Use password managers that can detect when you're not on legitimate websites. These tools won't autofill credentials on fake sites, providing an additional layer of protection against credential harvesting. Implement reporting mechanisms that make it easy for employees to report suspicious emails. Quick reporting enables security teams to respond rapidly and warn other potential targets before they're compromised. Monitor accounts for unauthorized access and unusual activity. Enable account notifications for login attempts, password changes, and other sensitive actions. For organizations, deploy advanced threat protection systems that use machine learning and behavioral analysis to detect sophisticated phishing attempts that bypass traditional security measures. Keep all systems and software updated with the latest security patches. Many phishing attacks exploit known vulnerabilities that are already fixed in newer versions. Create organizational policies requiring verification of unusual requests, especially those involving financial transactions or sensitive data access. Implement approval workflows that prevent single points of failure. Today, we've explored the sophisticated world of phishing campaigns and seen how tools like Gophish enable attackers to create convincing, large-scale operations that exploit human psychology through fear, urgency, and authority. What makes these attacks particularly concerning is their effectiveness against even security-conscious individuals and well-protected organizations. The combination of email spoofing, professional web design, and psychological manipulation creates attacks that can bypass technical defenses and exploit our natural tendencies to trust familiar sources. The techniques we've demonstrated today represent the same methods used by cybercriminals to steal billions of dollars annually, compromise corporate networks, and destroy reputations and careers. Understanding these attack vectors is essential for anyone who uses email and conducts business online. Remember, the knowledge shared in this video is meant to help you understand these threats and protect against them, never to cause harm. Using phishing techniques against real people is illegal and can result in serious criminal charges, including wire fraud, identity theft, and computer crimes. If you found this demonstration valuable for your cybersecurity awareness, smash that like button right now. Understanding these sophisticated attack methods is crucial for protecting yourself and your organization from credential theft and account compromise. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest security insights and protection strategies. We're constantly analyzing new phishing techniques and developing defenses against emerging social engineering threats. Share this video with colleagues, friends, and family who might benefit from understanding these phishing campaign techniques. The more people recognize these attacks, the less effective they become. Drop a comment sharing your thoughts on phishing protection or telling us about any suspicious emails you've encountered. Your experiences help educate the entire community about real-world phishing tactics. We're working on upcoming videos covering advanced email security, spear phishing techniques, and emerging social engineering methods. Your feedback helps us prioritize which threats to cover next. Remember, in cybersecurity, your skepticism and verification habits are often the only things standing between you and a successful phishing attack. Until next time, stay curious, stay skeptical, and keep learning. This is Tech Sky, signing off.
Show me the guys who want to swim, make it right.